Hey friends, welcome to this episode of the podcast brought to you by the Michigan Retailers Association. Today we're heading up north to talk to Kathy Morin. She is from Cadillac. We're going to find out everything going on this summer in the city of Cadillac, and we're going to do it right now. And as I said, my guest today, Kathy from Cadillac. How are you, my friend?
I am fantastic. How are you doing?
I am amazing. I'm very excited to talk to you. You and I haven't met, so this is super exciting for me to have a second to chat with you about what is going on in Cadillac. We, of course, are brought to you, this episode in particular, by the Michigan Retailers Association. And it is my understanding that you guys just received a grant from them. Can we talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So we were the first recipient of the Buy Nearby grant, which is in conjunction with Michigan Retailers Association. And we learned about it, months ago. And we thought, what can we do to, that fits the criteria? Let's see if this will work. And we were thrilled to be chosen as the first one for this summer. And then they have grants that they've awarded for other seasons throughout this year.
That is awesome. And so what I'm assuming you had to apply for it, so you have plans for it. So what are the plans for this grant that you got from the Buy Nearby program?
Yeah, well, we have a Thursday night music series called Upbeat Cadillac that's been around for many, many years. Close to 30 years almost. And so it's on our waterfront in Rotary Pavilion, and the attendance is okay, but there is some, fantastic acts. national, Grammy winning types of acts. Not A-list type of thing, but really some good acts that are coming through. And then we also have a Thursday night market that somebody locally, her name is Marla Courtney. She owns a shop in town, and she's developing this Thursday night market to go along with it. We're also a community that has had started the social district. So we have five participating locations right now. If somebody wants to grab an adult beverage and take it down to the park. So we just have all of this coming together. We have some other really great things going on, but this Thursday night, it just needs a little bit of a boost. And so it fell right in line with what they were looking for and what we're looking for to help support the arts in our Cadillac Commons downtown area, and the pavilion on the waterfront, the social district, and of course, supporting the downtown retailers while we're at it.
So what is this? We're early in the summer season, but it feels like we go back to winter for about 48 hours, and then we go headlong into August, and there's that sort of like thing happening right now. But for you guys in Cadillac, what's the season been like, and what does the rest of the summer look like for you?
Yeah, well, of course, we just have the kickoff to summer with Memorial Day weekend, and it's been busy. We actually, we've done very, very well, and it's kind of double-edged sword in some aspects of this. So throughout COVID, when people were going outside and doing a lot more outdoor recreation and maybe hiking or biking or golfing or different outdoor activities, people came up north. So we are, we're a pretty easy destination to get to when you're heading up north, and also a reasonably affordable one at that. So we had a really, really busy season this past year, anticipating another one this year with the golf. And again, all the trails. We were just recently designated a Pure Michigan Trail Town through the DNR and MEDC, and that was pretty exciting. So I think a lot of that is just kind of continuing to move forward, just being that kind of it sounds a bit cliche, but the four-season recreation area that a lot of people like to come up to. So I think we're going to be very busy, but also still, I want to say reasonable, kind of grounded. I don't know if that makes sense.
Sure, it does. And one of the things I want to ask you is, for people who have, the stat you see thrown around is, 10 million Americans figured out how to camp in the last 12 months, right? So like people are figuring out that there's an outdoor. And as people are figuring out where to go this summer, what are some of the must do's in Cadillac? Do they start on Thursday? Is that what they should, like, if I'm coming for a weekend, let's say, what does my ideal weekend look like in Cadillac? What should I be doing? Where should I be eating? What does that look like?
Oh gosh, so many options. One tip I would
I love to have to come back a couple times. So like,
that works. So I would say if it's possible to even not come on a weekend, don't come on a weekend, because really any destination in northern Michigan, I mean, the weekends are prime. So, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, fantastic. So you won't have as many crowds. You'll probably get a better tee time if that's what you're looking for. If you're going to go out on the rivers for paddle sports, again, less crowded. So first and foremost, I would ask, tell people if your schedule allows, or if you can work from anywhere, maybe kind of do some work on the internet at the daytime and then go at, whatever time you want to bail out and go hit, the golf course. But doing that midweek, first of all, I would totally suggest to do that. Just fewer people, fewer crowds, have I don't want to say a better experience, but maybe just a less crowded and potentially less expensive time. So for that, so that's, as far as just even like kind of getting here and doing that stuff. And really, I mean, we have 16 different lodging properties. So whether somebody wants the traditional tried and true, Holiday Inn Express or Hampton Inn, but then also some really cute like cottages and cabins, so kind of everything in between. So some independent, some branded, a few different types of lodging opportunities. So if you don't want a traditional hotel, but you might not even want to camp, some
Sure.
really some deluxe cottages and deluxe cabins are really kind of fun too. So and then no shortage of food. So we do have everything, obviously a lot of the fast food and the same old, but some really cute cafes, and so a couple of new things opening downtown, which are pretty fun. And then up to, some waterfront fine dining. So kind of the whole mix of that in between. So, and it's all
Yes.
pretty close and centralized. So you do pretty well need a vehicle. Unfortunately, we're not quite up in the Uber, not a whole lot of Uber and Lyft up in our area, but everything is pretty close to one another, to each item if you want it, or excuse me, each, facility, the hotels and the
Yeah.
restaurants and shopping and all that. It's all pretty close.
So Kathy, you mentioned early on that there is a social district or a multiple site social district. And I've been asking everybody this question because if there is a thing that is my new favorite that came out of COVID, it is certainly these. For you guys specifically, and then just your brain on the industry as a whole, will these things stick around? Will they evolve? What will they look like 3 or 4 years from now? Because they are, some people love them, some people clearly don't love them. But for those of us who think it's really awesome, what does Cadillac think about it, and how long are the social districts in place? And what do you see the future of that sort of outdoor dining consumption looking like?
Well, I think it's definitely growing. I think the past few years, well, pre-COVID, it's kind of nice, maybe have a couple, outdoor places. But just obviously with COVID, I mean, the igloos and all the things popped up in so many places. But the outdoor dining, people are loving it. And, I'm seeing, yesterday I driven past one of the restaurants that has the waterfront dining, and it was absolutely gorgeous, bright and sunshine, and people, actually 2 different restaurants near each other, people out on, outdoor dining. It's like, oh my gosh, perfect for that. So, so that was really cool. I think, Cadillac was a little bit one of the earlier adopters for social district. It took us a little bit of time to, I guess from the city, municipal standpoint, they were an
Sure.
early adopter, but kind of getting it up and going and getting people on board and taking the marketing element of it. That's getting out more. And I don't see it really slowing down. I think, as long as people are doing doing what they're supposed to be doing responsibly, and, putting away the trash and not acting kind of crazy, out in public parks and things like that. I think it would stick around for a while. And I continually see, I think dining options and COVID and things, I mean, it accelerated so quickly of all of these different things, that trends or things that might have picked up on, it just accelerated it so quickly. And people had to adopt, or unfortunately maybe, close. And so I think with outdoor dining and with social district and some of these things, I just think it's going to grow. And I'm just seeing more and more emphasis put on it.
Now, Kathy, I don't know if you feel like this, but I certainly feel like this year is flying by at a warp pace. And so in the interest of, if you and I don't catch up before September, people are going to start thinking about fall colors. what do they think about for Cadillac? When should they start booking? Kind of what do you, and I'm not asking you to be a meteorologist. You don't have to tell me what weekend, right? But like, what should people plan on up there? And, you guys just got the Pure Michigan Trail marker, which is amazing. Any trails they absolutely have to hit if they want to see fall colors. What does that look like as I know we're just in summer, but people are planning ahead. What should we do in fall if we're in Cadillac?
Sure. So we, a year or so ago, we redesigned our mapping for fall colors. In the past, it was kind of like, here's all the roads and here are all the routes to go for. But then we're like, it's trees. You can kind of find pretty trees anywhere. So we've reformatted it to be a bunch of agritourism destinations or coffee shops off the beaten path, or just different places to go and check out. So instead of just having a route where you're going, 40 miles in a loop around the area, you're going, 5 miles and stopping at this place and going out to the Boone Country Store and getting your cheese and going off to the, Cornerstone Coffee to get a flight of, flight of really cool coffee drinks and kind of making more of an experience out of it, depending on if you want to stay closer into town or if you want to go farther out of town. So things like that. And it's really exciting because each year the agritourism is just growing and growing. And in fact, yesterday I learned of yet another place that had popped up, a flower, kind of like a flower farm. So it's hard to tell. It can be a little tricky sometimes when the colors are going to pop. But usually the first couple of weeks of October is pretty safe to say. And definitely, earlier the better. I mean, fall weddings have really, really become a lot more popular too. So again, that weekend where it gets a little more demand for the weekends, whether it's weddings or fall golf or fall colors. I always encourage people, if they're able to come midweek, again, it's the best time to kind of have a little more elbow room, so to speak.
Absolutely. And if people want to find out more information, where should they go, Kathy?
Website is CadillacMichigan.com, and all kinds of information, social district, the market, all the different activities and different events that we have. Everything is on CadillacMichigan.com, as well as our Facebook is Visit Greater Cadillac. Upbeat Cadillac has a Facebook page. The markets have a page. I mean, so there's definitely a lot of information out there, but we try to collect it all and put it on our website under activities and events for people to be able to easily find those and come up and visit with those.
Awesome. Kathy, have an awesome day. It was a pleasure to spend a couple minutes with you, and we will talk again soon.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.